The video you are about to watch contains footage from the Governor's Public Health Commission from this June 30th, 2022. It exemplifies the level of coercion which they are willing to take in order to coerce Indiana counties to participate in public health initiatives that will ultimately eliminate local control and autonomy of the choices made within your county during perceived or actual public health emergencies.
Because there will be autonomous groups that say, we're in charge and we're going to do this, and we need to lovingly support them in their misdirection.
Well stated.
Does the Governor's Health Commission think that counties desiring autonomy are actually misdirected? Let's go ahead and learn a little bit more how the Commission plans to lovingly support these counties.
You can appreciate the framework you put forth to finally allow us to have sort of coordinated joint state, local public health funding that's predictable, and funding that is tied to metrics that we all agree are necessary. And also appreciate that you obviously don't want to suggest a mandate at this point. The legislature could do that.
You have to ask yourself, was a mandate ever on the table? If the Governor's Public Health Committee doesn't get what they want, could they or the governor persuade the legislature to create a mandate forcing county participation?
But the framework itself, I think, is flexible, important, and I think something we should support. So I applaud you for putting it on the table. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes, Mark.
Again, I think all of us are saying this is the right way to go. I'm looking at the back end of this right now because in our quick little discussion over here, there will be some who say autonomously, we want to be in control and we will opt out of this. What they're saying is we will, over the next 4 years, fund our health according to state law without your help. In about 2 years, they're going to find out we can't do that. And so,
how does this exchange sit with you? The Commission is knowingly setting up counties to fail citizens, break state laws, and is laughing about it. I think that's worth listening to again.
Because in our quick little discussion over here, there will be some who say autonomously, we want to be in control and we will opt out of this. What they're saying is we will, over the next 4 years, fund our health according to state law without your help. In about 2 years, they're going to find out we can't do that. And so are we going to continue to make them wait for the 4-year cycle, or do we allow them to opt in? That will be a question, because there will be autonomous groups that say, we're in charge and we're going to do this, and we need to lovingly support them in their misdirection.
Well stated, Mark. It wouldn't be too much of a change in the structure of the thing to say that if the county does decide not to take advantage of it, that they are responsible for delivering these services, but they can re-vote every year if they want to, until they decide to do it. I mean, that wouldn't really blow this proposal up. I think Dr. Howerson's concern about the state's going to have to step in and provide this is, in some cases, people who are going to want to play games are going to opt out in order to get the state to pay for something that they should be paying attention to. Part of it is not just paying for it, it's actually caring about what you're doing and paying attention to what you're doing. So it's hard for me to answer Dr. Howerson's question, because it does put that looming thing right out there of, hey, you may not have any services, even though by statute you're required to provide them. The way you stated seems to me a little more common reaction. Maybe a modification should be that should they take a vote and they decide not to do it and they go for a year and find out what it's really like, then they're entitled to re-vote, and then that vote would stand for a 4-year period or something like that. Those are
Congresswoman Brooks has her hand up.
Thank you all. Hopefully you can hear me. One way that maybe we could do what was suggested earlier is the public education portion of this relative to the county councils and the county commissioners. And if a specific county is deciding to opt out, that they would really be subject to having this education session that had been discussed. So they are really fully aware of all of the ramifications, and maybe have it in their own county, have the public education session about what, you know, their decision might mean in their own county. And before they opt out, if a county is really thinking about opting out. But I think this is a great model to get started with, and I like the idea of the flexibility of allowing counties to come in if they do decide to opt out 1 year, that they are given the opportunity to re-educate themselves and change their minds. But I think they ought to be fully informed of what they're going to be missing out on if they choose to opt out.
That's a suggestion we haven't heard, and that's good. I think that has some merit, that maybe if some county thinks they're not going to sign on, then maybe the state needs to make a presentation or visit with them and talk through the whole situation so they can understand before they get into a situation what they're heading toward. That, I think that has some value and might take a little bit of the edge off of the sort of the brutality of the thing if you don't sign up. Any other thoughts?
It looks like Dean Howerson has his hand.
Oh, Dean, I'm sorry.
Senator
Not
Kinley,
used to
thank
using
you.
this screen this way.
I'm sorry. Senator Kinley, I understand and appreciate the suggestions that have been made, and I like them a lot. I'm just wondering if we would consider the idea of revising the required local services as part of the actions that we might take. The concern I have now is that the list is so sparse. So is there a way to perhaps revise those essential requirements at the county level?
That could certainly be studied. I think we could take a look at that and see if there's an avenue there to use that as part of the how you deal with these situations. I think that suggestion has some value too.
I think for sure to receive the funding, there will be a set of essential services that will be required and need to be delineated clearly so that local health departments, county commissioners, and county council members
Right.
know what they're
Good
signing
idea.
up for. I don't know about going back and changing all the statutes. I mean,
Right.
that would be a job, and I think that could be something we set our
Yeah.
goals for going forward, maybe.
Well, maybe we need to at least put in the report, draw that to in the recommendation report. Maybe it needs to be pointed out that might be something that needs to be looked at as this process is evaluated. And however, the governor may even choose to introduce the bill in a little bit different way than what we're talking about. And then the legislature would have an opportunity to